T-minus 2 minutes and counting.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
With that confirmation, the Falcon 9 is fully loaded with 1 million pounds of propellant.
Ground gas closeouts.
There you see SpaceX venting off the remaining liquid oxygen from the feed lines. Just about a minute to go before flight. Should hear the call that the Falcon 9 is entering into its automated startup in roughly 10 seconds.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
SpaceX launch director should be confirming that they are go for launch here momentarily.
LD is go for launch.
And with that call, we're going to step back on our commentary, watch along with you for the final 30 seconds, and we'll be back on the other side.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
Power and telemetry nominal. Falcon is supersonic. Max Q.
And a really nice ascent of the Falcon 9 rocket, lifting off at sunset, passing through Max Q, as you just heard, point of greatest aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle. Coming up next, we should hear a call for MVAC chill.
MVAC chill.
That's the thermal conditioning of the Merlin vacuum engine on the rocket's upper stage. Coming up to a few events in fairly rapid succession for this flight. First will be first stage main engine cutoff for MECO at about T plus 2 minutes and 25 seconds, followed by stage separation and then the ignition of that Merlin vacuum engine with the payload fairing set to jettison no more than 3 minutes into flight. About 10 seconds to MECO.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC startup.
All good calls, good events, good visuals. Fairing separation is coming up next. You can actually see the plume just off the engine nozzle there to the left.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And as mentioned earlier in the broadcast, SpaceX will recover those fairing halves once they splash down in the waters of the Pacific Ocean under the support of steerable parachutes. Coming up on about 4 minutes into this mission, the next
Both
major
vehicles are on a nominal trajectory.
milestone for SpaceX, noting that they are on a nominal trajectory, which is always good confirmation. As a reminder, on the other side of the booster landing, we'll have our mission stats to close out the coverage and give you some context on where this lands within the greater landscape for both SpaceX as well as the industry. Now 5 minutes into flight, just about a minute away from the start of that entry burn.
Stage 2 FTS is safed.
Stage 1 transonic.
First stage booster traveling below the speed of sound as the upper stage's FTS or flight termination system has been safed, no longer needed at this stage in flight. Near the start of the entry burn or the landing burn, you may also hear a call that the upper stage is in terminal guidance. That just means it's close to the end of this current burn.
Stage
Stage 1
2.
landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Landing leg deploy.
And a nice sunset landing for the Falcon 9 first stage booster, B1082, wrapping up its 17th trip to space and back.
Nominal park orbit insertion.
And with the confirmation of that good parking
down.
orbit and the engine having shut down, of course, otherwise it wouldn't have been in that nominal parking orbit. The upper stage will now coast until about T plus 50 minutes and 59 seconds. There will be a 1 second burn to circularize the orbit of the upper stage. And then the Starlink satellites will be released. And with all that now done and dusted, first want to thank channel member Kelly Jones for a very generous $20 super chat, saying to a successful and fun launch. Certainly was. So let's go ahead and put that in context for our audience here. Talk about the mission stats as they currently stand. With a good liftoff and landing of B-1082. Again, that was its 17th flight. This was SpaceX's 554th Falcon 9 launch to date. The 137th of the year so far. This is SpaceX's 168th orbital launch within that rolling 365 days. The 159th orbital launch for SpaceX from Slick 4 East, and the 227th overall orbital launch from this pad as well. Here's a look at where the bar chart now currently stands. SpaceX 3 missions past its record-setting year, 2024. Moving on to some recovery stats. That was the 161st good landing on the drone ship called Of Course I Still Love You, marking SpaceX's 429th good drone ship landing and the 525th booster landing to date. Finally, with some industry stats, this was the 54th orbital launch from California so far this year, the 144th from U.S. soil, the 157th from U.S. Rocket Company, and the 246th orbital launch around the world. Still just 5 orbital mishaps so far this year. Here's where the pie chart now currently stands. With that, we're going to go ahead and wind things down. Want to quickly thank, though, Deb, one of our channel members, for our $5 super chat. Says, thanks, Spaceflight Now. Thank you, Deb. Good to see you. Thanks for the support. I also want to thank our moderators, Rick Donner and Aussie Space Girl, for holding it down in the live chat, and to Cumulus Granadas for helping to answer folks' questions in the chat as well. Big thanks to our Spaceflight Now editor, Stephen Young, for running the technical operations of the broadcast today.